little bit of a change. Why do I look like a 1950s little boy with my hair slicked back like this? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Super grateful that you're here. As per always, I hope you're having a beautiful damn day. And this week I thought I'd bring you along and show you what I eat and my workouts. I've never really talked about my workouts. I've never really shown you what I do on like a regular basis for my workouts. And I just want to say, I'm not training to do something specific. I'm not training to have a specific body. I'm not doing anything other than just moving my body to make me feel good. And I think that is so much more important than trying to achieve a certain goal. Like obviously I'm trying to get stronger and like work on my mobility and just be functional as a human being. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'm about to kill a workout. I'm about to put on Sydney Cummings, and I will link all of the workouts that I complete down below for you guys. So let's dive into this freaking workout because I'm ready to move. Hola, hola, my friends. Voiceover Julia coming in clutch. And this morning I had a cup of coffee that Mitch had saved me and then decided to dive into these leftover sushi rolls because how could I not? I actually lost the footage of me throwing this plate together, but it's fairly simple what's on here. Excusez-moi?
I don't mind if I do.
Mon ami. Teach me a French word.
Pied.
Pied. What's that?
Foot.
Me and pied.
Alright, so here's another one.
Okay.
So, mange.
Mange.
You know what that is?
I don't think so.
Eat.
Okay. I think the only thing that you can't really tell what it is on this plate is maybe that tempura in the back and then that brown pile of stuff. Yeah, there was just some leftover curry that had red cabbage in it, so it turned a weird brown color. But anyways, I munched on a cookie and now we are making a beautiful rice noodle soup. So I chopped up half of an onion, some ginger, and some garlic, threw some oil in my pan, threw my onion, ginger, and garlic into that pan, and then sauteed it until it was a beautiful, nice golden brown, and then threw in some leftover veggie stock from last week's What I Eat in a Week video. I'd thrown in some bokchoy into this mixture, so that's what the green things are. And then threw in some salt, some tamari, some lime juice, and some maple syrup to just really balance out the flavor. I then let my rice noodles cook until they were completely soft and beautiful. Not completely soft, they were beautifully cooked. Threw it all into my bowl, topped it off with some sesame seeds, and slurped back this beautiful soup. And to end the night on a very relaxing note, I decided to throw together a nice little hot chocolate with some ashwagandha, some cocoa powder, a little bit of maple syrup just to, you know, make it enjoyable, and a touch of vanilla extract as well. And then I just sipped on that and read my book and enjoyed. To start my early day, I decided to make myself a nice little matcha with some oat milk and some maple syrup, ate a little cookie, and then went on about a half an hour walk or so. I was actually talking to my mom on the phone during this, so I could only get a clip, but here we are. Once I got back from my walk, I thought I wanted a coffee, and then I ended up just making coffee and saving it for tomorrow. I stuck it in the fridge and that was that. Chopped up a couple apples and enjoyed them with some AG1, sipped on that, and then decided I needed to get my blood flowing a little bit, so I did a Pilates workout. Lately I've been thinking about the choices I have made and I was kind of short on time today, so I decided to just do a short 20-minute Pilates workout, but it was enough to get my blood flowing, make me feel energized, and a little bit better about my day. It's one reason I love home workouts because I can complete them on my own time and also do whatever I want. Exhales, you extend it up. 12, 11, 6, and loose. Rest back down, and let's take a quick stretch. Inhale, reach your butt up. After my nice little Pilates burn, I needed the cooling smoothie, and I also just didn't have any food in the house at this point in time, so this was my only option before going grocery shopping. Some frozen mango, blueberries, spinach, and protein powder, and there we go. So I thought I would do a quick little grocery haul for you guys just to show you everything that I got. I have like nothing in the fridge, so this is what we're working with over the next few days. So let's just dive into it. I got a bunch of mushrooms here. Got some Brussels sprouts as well. I just used the paper bags that they provided at the store because I forgot my little produce bags, unfortunately. However, those were the two things that I had to put in a bag. Everything else could just be left out of a bag and I could just wash it when I get home, which is what I'm going to do. I got some fresh rosemary and some fresh basil. These still have the roots attached to them, so I think I might try to plant one and see how she grows. Got a couple lemons, a piece of turmeric, a red pepper, some avocados. I really didn't want to buy anything in this mesh bagging. If you watched my last week's What I Eat in a Week video, you'd understand why, but I hate to say it, but they were just so much cheaper than the loose ones, so that's why I went for them. I got some Thai noodles and some quinoa and rice spaghetti. Thai noodles, rice noodles, bunch of carrots. I love looking at carrots like this. I think it's just so pretty. Some green onions, some leeks, some red kale, a cute little head of lettuce, big thing of bananas. I don't have any frozen bananas in the house, so I'm going to let these get a little bit spotted before I cut them up and freeze them. Obviously, I'm gonna eat some fresh over the next few days, but I'm going to save some so I can have some frozen bananas. I got a thing of mustard because I love mustard, and I haven't had a nice thing of mustard in my house for a really long time, and I thought it was time. Got that, and then I wanted to try a red curry paste, so I got one. It's really hard to find curry pastes that are completely vegan. A lot of them have like anchovy or some sort of fish sauce or whatever inside of them, but this one is completely vegan and it's the Thai Kitchen. And yeah, very simple ingredients as well, so I love to see it. I also got some sunflower oil. I recently did a gut health test and it said that olive oil could be a possible trigger for me, or a possible, not trigger, but it could produce too much of a certain bacteria in my gut. So I decided to get some sunflower oil instead, because it said on the list of foods that I recommended that sunflower oil was probably one of the best ones that I could have. So I'm just going to do a little self-experiment right now, and you guys know how much I love to cook with olive oil, so it's a little bit of a change, but we're gonna try it and see how we feel. We got some celery. I do not eat enough celery, and I always feel so much better after I eat celery. So we're gonna include that into our diet. And then I also got a sourdough loaf of bread. I love sourdough. Look how beautiful she is. So pretty. All right, let's dive into making some food. 2 steps and you're off so far away. Honestly, I could not resist trying that curry paste, so that was immediately what I had to do. So I decided to chop up a bunch of veggies. We got some onions, some celery, and some carrot, and then we chucked that into our frying pan with a little bit of oil. And then after they sauteed for a couple minutes, I threw in the tops of the carrots and my sweet potato along with a little salt. Let that saute for several minutes, chucked in a little bit of water and some soaked lentils along with my curry paste. Probably about a tablespoon worth, and then half of a lime's juice, a little bit more water, and I had to squeeze like the whole remnants of that lime into that because you know what? I'm not a waster. I chopped up a couple pieces of bread and then plated up my curry. It's a super simple one, and I didn't really want anything saucy. I just kind of wanted something super flavorful and quick and easy to eat, so here we are. Me and Mitch went to Costco several days before this, and I got this massive thing of balsamic vinegar, and I've literally been addicted ever since. So I decided to make a meal basically around the idea of me using this balsamic vinegar. We sauteed up some onions, some mushrooms, and then added some fresh rosemary, kale, radicchio, salt, pepper, and a whole lot of that balsamic vinegar. I cooked up some of that spaghetti that I just bought, added some basil, some more balsamic vinegar because I'm addicted, threw in a little bit of mustard for a little bit more of a pop and bright flavor, threw in my noodles, more balsamic vinegar, sorry not sorry, and then plated that up and really enjoyed this. This was so simple, so delicious, and I truly think that when you saute your vegetables right and season well, you got a beautiful plate of pasta. So as I said earlier, I made some coffee the other day that I didn't end up drinking, so I made a mocha with it this morning, and now we're moving over to breakfast. I threw some soaked beans into my pot, some lentils to be specific, along with some barbecue sauce, a little bit of oil, a little bit of smoked paprika, seasoned it with some salt because you always gotta add some salt to make it taste mwah, you know? I warmed up 3 corn tortilla wraps, added some avocado hummus to them along with some carrot and my bean mixture, my lentil mixture. Threw some red onion on there, some lettuce, some green onion, and topped it off with some lime juice as well for a nice kick of brightness and extra yumminess. I love acidity. I can't help myself. As you can tell, the sun has now disappeared and it kind of makes me sad, but you know what? You keep pushing forward and it's all gonna be okay. I toasted up a couple pieces of bread and then added some avocado, some red cabbage sauerkraut, the leftover lettuce that I didn't use up from this morning, drizzled it with some balsamic glaze, and enjoyed.
I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing.
You like it?
That was lovely.
It's good stuff. I like to see.
I'm crying. Oh, I need water. Ew. I'm such a wuss. I'm currently taking a story with my nose, guys. Keep going. Ballerina. Show them what you got. Wow. This is really impressive.
Should I pour the wine?
Yes, sir. They smell great.
French fries?
Crunchy fries. All right, should we crack open these pizzas?
I want to see these fries. Whoa.
You want to see the fries first?
It
What?
scared me. I thought I got my sweater in the. Ooh.
Oh, they look great.
Yeah.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, girlfriend.
Cheers, boyfriend. Yours is oval. Oh my god!
Right? Right?
Jesus, what's on your mind?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would, that's why I'm asking. So this is my truffle oil, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's good.
Yeah. Mmm.
Let me into that.
Mmm. So good. What the frick?
Yeah, wow.
Mm-hmm. I've moved to Italy.
We just keep going back to Sasso.
Seems too simple.
Yeah. We need to uproot our lives for pizza.
Exactly. What the
That's
frick?
a lot. Show the camera how much you got on that.
That's so much.
Can they see?
I
I
don't
feel like you
even-
need a close-up.
I can't move right now. How did this happen?
It's good. You got on your pants too? No.
Just on like the bottom cuff.
By your feet?
Yeah, I'm sitting cross-legged right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I was like, how is this working its way in there?
It's a whole conspiracy theory. Holy calm down. I'm still in my first glass. Relax. Do not pour yourself another one.
Do not pass go.
And you're not getting $100.
$200. Did you not play Monopoly? Are you a fake? Where were you raised?
What? I played when I was a kid.
Did you know $100? Everyone knows it's cheap.
Is it? Say it right.
I have something black on the bottom of your lip.
Stop!
On your lip. You got it.
I have problems.
You got a lot of those.
Tell me what they are.
No, I want to talk about the economy.
No, listen.
I don't want to talk about boring stuff. I want to talk about your problems.
My problems are boring.
They could be a little more interesting.
I think I could list more about you than you could about me. Let's be real.
I think you have more problems than me?
I think you have more problems than I do.
I don't know about that.
I think I've faced more of my problems than you have. But the fire is so How long is this video? Can you see that far? 21 minutes. You've seen enough. Sorry, guys. See ya.
So this morning I did the only logical thing after a night of drinking, which is make myself a coffee and eat the leftovers, you know? A nice slice of pizza that's not warmed up left over. You're speaking my freaking language. After that beautiful, blissful moment enjoying my pizza, I decided to go for a nice little 30-minute walk and enjoyed the beautiful blue skies, fresh air, and it wasn't extremely cold today. And by not extremely cold, I still mean like -10 compared to like -20. So that's fun. Anyways, once we got back, I chopped up some mushrooms and some red cabbage and then threw that into my frying pan, sauteed them until they got nice and brown, seasoned them with some salt, some pepper, some chili flakes, some garlic powder, and I'm so addicted to this balsamic vinegar that I literally brought it to Mitch's house for the pizza night last night. Topped my toast off with some leftover tahini dressing that I made for pasta the other week, along with some hot mustard, my veggies that I sauteed, red onion, and some basil.
La, 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 la. Aw, you always look so handsome in the sun. Why you cute little smile whenever I compliment you? Wave.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Do a trick. Good job. That's pretty impressive.
After another 30-minute beautiful walk in the sunshine, I got back and decided to eat some sweets because that's another logical thing to do when you're a little bit hungover. I actually bought that for last night, but we didn't end up eating it. Anyways, moving on to a quick little dinner I'm throwing together. I'm just chucking some veggies into a bowl. I made some quinoa and some rice noodles and a little sauce with some tamari, rice vinegar, garlic powder, ginger powder, and a little bit of sriracha as well. And I kind of adjusted it as I went. I added some more tamari to this bowl. I added some more sriracha. I also added some sauerkraut for a little bit of tanginess. And then I ended up needing some sesame oil too.
Whoa.
Well, you gotta enjoy things when they last.
You know, sometimes when you have a craving for something and it doesn't turn out exactly the way you want it, it's just kind of disappointing, and that's kind of how I felt about this bowl. Like, don't get me wrong, it was okay, but it wasn't the best. So I feel like a hot chocolate with some maca powder and a little bit of salt and maple syrup has become like my signature drink recently, and I'm not mad about it. After I enjoyed that, I needed some AG1 just to kind of boost me up a little bit, and then decided to make myself some breakfast. This bread was going a little bit stale, not gonna lie, so it was kind of hard to cut, but after I toasted it up, I threw some avocado on there, along with some mustard, some radish, and some carrot. Very simple breakfast, do not get me wrong. For a little bit more brightness, I added some lemon juice and some pepper to it, and then decided I need more food, so I had some celery with some hummus dip as well. About an hour and a half after I enjoyed my breakfast, I did a hardcore workout by Sydney Cummings. Sydney Cummings just freaking kills me. Honestly, my butt still hurts from doing this workout, and it's been like 3 days, so props to Sydney Cummings for literally killing me every single time. She is my freaking girl. If you have not worked out with her before, I cannot recommend her enough. A little bit after my workout, I enjoyed a banana and then needed some more food in my stomach. So I soaked some cashews in some hot water, threw some leeks, celery, some rosemary, and some garlic into my frying pan along with some oil, and let that saute for several minutes. After my cashews had soaked for about 20 minutes or so, I threw them into my blender along with a little bit of water that they were soaking in, some mustard, some salt, some pepper, some lemon juice, and I also threw some nutritional yeast in there too. Along with my veggies, I threw in some red kale and some red pepper, seasoned it all with some salt, some pepper, some chili flakes, and some oregano as well. And as all of that was sauteing, I had some pasta going, and once the veggies were done and the pasta was done, I threw it all together along with my sauce, gave it all a nice, really good mix, adding some more sauce as I needed, and this was so simple, so delicious. Cannot recommend it enough, and it's the first pasta meal that I've made this week without adding balsamic vinegar, so I'm a little bit proud of myself, not gonna lie. I munched on a handful of these quote-unquote fruit roll-up things that I made that weren't really fruit roll-ups, but you know what, I still have to eat them. And then it was time to make myself some dinner, so I sauteed some ginger, some garlic, and some turmeric along with some celery and some carrot, and after a couple minutes I threw in a couple chilies along with some cumin and some cinnamon as well. After several more minutes I threw in some water and some coconut milk, a whole can of coconut milk, along with the tops of the carrots and some mushrooms, seasoned it with some salt. I was cooking up some rice as the stir fry the curry was going. I also forgot to show you guys that I threw in some soybeans as well to this, and quite a large number of soybeans too, probably about 2 cups worth of soaked soybeans, and I let this curry stew for about an hour before eating it. Topped it off with some peanuts and enjoyed. So on this lovely morning, I decided to chill in bed and read for like 45 minutes, and then when I decided I needed to get up and move, I was just like, you know what, I just want to do a 30-minute nice little yoga flow. So that is what I did. I had a really, really beautiful morning, and honestly, I need to start doing yoga in the morning more often again. It just kicks off my day on such a calm, collected, grounded, loving note, and I cannot recommend it enough. I'm sure it helps that I'm eating the book Eat, Pray, Love right now, and if you've read the book, it probably inspired you to do some yoga and or meditate as well. After that, I made myself a nice little hot chocolate with, of course, some maca powder, but I decided to use some date syrup instead of maple syrup, and you know what? That's changing things up. That's different. Sipped on that, and then it was time for breakfast. We are chopping up a couple slices of bread, and I was unsure if I wanted sweet and or savory this morning, so I was like, you know what? We live in a beautiful world where I can do both. So on one of my pieces of toast, I put some peanut butter, some cranberry jam that I made last week, some sliced up bananas, some hemp seeds, and then on my other piece of toast, I used up some of this avocado hummus stuff that Mitch gave me, along with some red cabbage sauerkraut, lettuce, and a nice little squeeze of lemon to brighten it all up. And this was my beautiful, very simple, delicious, best of both worlds breakfast. I was feeling simplicity today, so I just warmed up some leftover rice from last night along with some leftover curry as well. Topped it off with some black sesame seeds and some lime juice just to brighten it up. Munched on a handful of walnuts and then had some carrots, celery, and some hummus. And then now it's time for dinner. And you know what? We're using balsamic vinegar, and I'm not ashamed. And in my big pan, I threw in some leeks, some red cabbage, some Brussels sprouts, and some mushrooms as well. To make it flavorful, I chopped up some sage, threw that in there, along with a bunch of garlic as well, 3 cloves of garlic that I just smash and then chop very finely. Threw in a few sprigs of rosemary, and then I seasoned it with some salt and some pepper, obviously, along with a little bit of chili flakes, and I put in a lot of that balsamic vinegar. Like I just kept on going. Like I just keep on going, and it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop for several more seconds. I decided to throw in some oregano as well, just to, make the Italian flavors a little more present. And then I chucked that into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 minutes. In the meantime, I smashed together some basil in my mortar and pestle. Pestle? Is it pestle? Anyways, I added some salt, and I threw some walnuts in there as well, and just mashed that all up. In hindsight, I should have probably added a little less walnuts, but honestly, I love walnuts, so it's okay. I could have also just thinned this out with some oil, but I did add quite a bit of oil to my veggies, so I just wasn't really feeling adding more to my pesto. I thought I had enough in this dinner to begin with, so it is what it is. I made some brown rice pasta, mixed that in with my pesto and my veggies. I love dinners where I just chuck a bunch of stuff into a pan, season it really, really well, and it just makes my my life so much simpler and easier, but it doesn't lack on the flavor, and to me, that is the best of both worlds, flavorful and simple.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and got some value out of it as well. I want to remind you that just because you don't work out like me and or I don't work out like you doesn't mean either of us are wrong. We are two vastly different individuals, and therefore we need to eat, exercise, and do many things differently, because that is a beautiful part of life. We are different people, every single one of us. So make the world unique, make the world beautiful by just acting in your authentic self and your authentic truth. I am sending everyone so much love, and if you could do me a massive favor and hit that like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already, it would truly light up my heart. I will see you again very, very soon for many more videos coming your way.